Everyone. Hey, this video is sort of meant to as a follow-up to a video I did about a couple months ago about why I fly powered parachutes. It turns out to be one of the most viewed videos that I've made in the last several years, and I just thought, hey, there's a lot of interest in thinking through flying and what to buy and advantages and disadvantages, and you know what is the motivation to begin with. And so anyway, I'm going to make a few videos coming up. This will be the first of a series of videos, sort of as a part 2 to why I fly powered parachutes. So this one is more of the experience of flying. And this really could be applied to powered paragliders, any other kind of ultralights. In my case, it's a powered parachute. That's really worked out well for me. But so to start out, I've been a scuba diver for many years, and when I first experienced scuba diving, I just realized that it's just a whole new world. When you go under the water, you're in a different world, a world that you've never seen before. When you swim under the water, fish think you're a fish. When you go down to the bottom of a lake or a river or in the ocean, you see things that no one else sees. And that just has always attracted me. And flying is one of those. Only 2% of the American population fly aircraft. Only 2%. So most of us in America will never experience what I experience now flying, and that would be applied to anybody else who's thinking about flying. It's just a whole new world. And what I found with flying is it's just a joy that I've never had before. I've never experienced before. It's just sort of a grandeur of when you're up in the air and you see the world down below. It's just something that I've never felt before, and it hasn't worn off. I've been flying now for 5 years. That has not worn off. So, just to lay out a few details of what I'm talking about. Flying is an exciting experience. I have a motorcycle. Like I said, I scuba dive, and I've always enjoyed excitement. I don't look at as danger. I try my best to think through what I'm doing so it's not a high danger level. When you really think about even driving down a highway is dangerous. And even though we do it every day, we sort of get used to it. But in this case, I'm flying in a vehicle that's only going 30 miles an hour. So it doesn't have a lot of energy. I'm flying in a vehicle that has a parachute that if the motor quits, you can safely land it without any power at all. So I'm not saying it's not dangerous, but I think it's within the realm of being a reasonable sport. As long as you follow the rules, as long as you check out your equipment, as long as you keep things in good shape, as long as you're not careless. So anyway, there's an excitement to it. It's flying like a bird. I mean, when you're flying, birds come up alongside of you, up above you and below you, and it's sort of like scuba diving. They don't know what to make of you. It's almost like you're part of that group. You have the air in your face. It's just a beautiful 30-mile-an-hour wind in your face. You have that three-dimensional movement. You have the sound of the engine that's pushing you forward to allow you to be lifted into the air. And like I said before, the views are just something you've never seen before. Now, I know people that fly in commercial airlines see it when they're flying, but when you're flying low and slow and you're out in the open, you're not in an enclosed compartment, it's just a whole different experience. So you know, it's sort of hard. I've done a lot of videos where you actually can see what it looks like, you know, from my perspective, but it doesn't really give it justice. You really need to be up there and experiencing the whole, you know, multiple dimensions of it to really feel what I feel and what others feel when they're flying. The other thing is it's within reach. You know, not that many years ago it wasn't something that an individual, you know, could do, but the cost of a ultralight powered parachute is about the cost of a boat or a, you know, a motorcycle or, you know, a used car. So it's within reach. And with ultralights, you don't need a pilot's license. You don't need to have your aircraft inspected by a certified FAA approved person. You can do your own repairs. So it is well within reach of lots of people. So that's something that also is something I really didn't realize before, but I certainly realize now. The other thing is you know, you're part of a club. Any kind of pilot accepts you as being part of that 2% of the American population that flies. And no matter, you know, the other day I was flying and an EMC helicopter came into the airport and we were just chatting back and forth. He was very welcoming. The pilots that I talk to when I'm flying, you know, in the pattern, either taking off or landing, very accepting, very curious, you know, to see what I'm doing, and you know, they certainly can see that I do it for just the pleasure of doing it. And you know, I think even some pilots that have a job flying, they don't really experience the pleasure of flying the way I do. I don't have any other reasons to fly other than just enjoy the flying. It's not a job, it's not routine, it's special every time. So you know, and I guess the last thing I want to say is that someday when I look back at my life and I'm older and maybe I won't have the ability anymore to do something like this, I don't want to look back and say, you know, I really shouldn't have passed up you know, the opportunity. Flying has been a joy for me, and you know, these videos are really sort of intended to let people know that it's within reach. It's a tremendous joy. There's a lot of excitement to it, and you know, I just don't want to look back someday and say, you know, I really could have done that, but you know, I waited too long and I got too old before I tried it. So you know, that's sort of the gist of this video. I'm going to make a few more videos on, you know, more of what it takes to set up and to take down, and you know, what kind of hardware and things that I use to make it safe and make it easy. But this one is just the raw experience of it. Just, you know, it's just a great joy to fly. And so, you know, I really hope that this is useful to someone out there that is thinking about it, but, you know, just doesn't maybe quite have the courage to go ahead and try it. Really, I would encourage it. Just try it and see. So I hope this is a valuable video for someone out there. And I'll talk to you later. Thank you.